Mind awake, body asleep. Mind awake, body asleep. What's up guys, how's it going? My name's Stevo and this is the first video for myself and a brand new YouTube channel. I apologise if I'm a little bit stuttery, I apologise if I lose my place, I apologise if it just sounds shit. I've got a few notes. Basically I want to talk to you about the latest episode of Mr. Robot and a few theories that I've got about what the hell is going on with that show. Let's face it, this show is amazing, but it's pretty fucking confusing at times. Basically, after watching today's episode twice, I've come up with a couple of theories, so this video is basically going to be a little bit of a review, a couple of theories, and let's see where we go and see if I actually get any views. To the one person, two people who watch this, leave a comment, and if it's shit, let me know. I'm doing this for fun, I'm not doing it to fucking live in a mansion, whatever. Right, that being said, let's get into it, and I want to kick off basically right at the start. You've got Elliot lying there in his bed with talking about his friend with who you told him he used to study by basically lucid dreaming, and he would tell himself the mantra mind awake, body asleep, so that he could study when he was asleep. So you've got Elliot lying there and he repeats this over and over. Obviously we have all the stuff with Angela and Whiterose, but I will come back to that. When we get to Elliot, he had basically hacked into his own consciousness. He comes to the computer and basically, for the first time in the whole two series, he can see what Mr. Robot's doing without Mr. Robot being aware. So we get to the point where they decipher the code, he finds out he's got to go to catch the cab. It's all looking pretty good from there. He follows Mr. Robot, we see the mysterious hand on the door as he leaves the apartment. As he's walking through, I can only describe it as a park, we see a guy walking past a banner with the 5'9" on. I'm pretty sure that looked like Terry Colby to me, but if you want to leave a comment and tell me I'm wrong, more than happy, just shooting the shit. So we get to the cab. Long story short, Tyrell gets into the cab. Now immediately, first thing I noticed about Tyrell was the accent. The accent was off. So I got to thinking straight away, this could be Elliot having one of his episodes. And we get to the end of the episode, Tyrell's about to show him phase 2, but what I can gather from what I've seen, this is just me, tell me I'm wrong, but Tyrell was a kind of a parody of himself. Now what I think has gone on here, Elliot has killed Tyrell on 5'9", as Mr. Robot said, and Elliot, with his guilt and what have you, has taken on the personality traits of Tyrell, like with Mr. Robot. So we've now got Elliot, Mr. Robot and Tyrell. We've got the father, Mr. Robot, the son, Elliot, and the ghost, Tyrell. Holy Trinity. I think that's a pretty cool nickname. Anyway, that's what I think's gonna go down with them in the deciding episode. Pretty much looking forward to it. To be fair, it's gonna be pretty good. Shame we've got to wait a week. I thought it was going to be a two-parter, but USA changed the schedule. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Angela and Whiterose and the whole Dark Army. Now, it was a pretty confusing scene. You've got Angela and she's taken to a room, the fish tank, and what I can only think was a koi carp, and you've got an old school Commodore and an old school telephone. Now, the little girl walks in, and immediately I'm thinking to myself, that little girl looks like a younger version of Angela. I don't know if that's coincidence or whatever. But then she proceeds to ask questions. Doesn't say anything, questions. First question being, have you ever cried during sex? Angela obviously answers no. Second question, have you ever had thoughts of murdering your father? Now, when the second question was asked, immediately I thought to myself, hold on. This has got some intones of sexual abuse. You've got the Lolita book on the side, and immediately I'm thinking, has this got some undertones of sexual abuse? Is this some kind of personality test? What's going on? Obviously, as the questions go on, you've got the whole key to the door scenario. Now, when Whiterose comes in and starts talking to Angela, my original thoughts were personality test. When Whiterose comes in and says, Angela should have been dead 90 days ago, but she keeps turning up like a bad penny on her vendetta to stop E-Corp, find out what the hell's going on at the Washington Township plant. Now Angela was Whiterose was saying that Angela and Elliot were important, and she made it seem like they were special in some way. And I was just thinking to myself, it's like they're both tied to the Washington Township plant in some way. And I immediately started to think, maybe this wasn't a personality test. Maybe this was a Turing test. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, a Turing test is the test to find out whether an AI can pass as human. Now, this is pretty crazy, but it started me to thinking, Washington Township plant, what on earth could be going on in there? Could they be making androids? Is Angela an android? Is she some kind of AI? Or is she the same as Elliot? Has she got a split personality? One that she isn't quite aware of yet. One that's maybe been sexually abused in the past, maybe by her father. Or maybe when she zones out, because we see a lot of Angela zoning out, maybe because she likes older dudes. Price seems to have some kind of hold over her, Price being the chairman CEO of E-Corp. Maybe when she zones out, maybe she's being abused by these guys to get what she wants. I mean, I'm not 100% on this, but there's something going on with her, and the Washington Township plant is important to all the main players in this show. Obviously the android thing is a bit of a push, but if Angela and Elliot were a male and female androids that were sent out into the world to see if they could become sentient, maybe it's an experiment to see if they could push it on the world later on, or maybe they're two AIs. It's just mind-blowing stuff, just crazy. I wanted to share this with you lot. I mean, obviously I've been talking to my guy War Stew. He's another massive fan of the show. Subscribe to his channel, please. But I just think it's absolutely crazy. Let me just have a look if there's anything else that I've missed. Yes, finally, after Angela is finished with Whiterose, she goes to visit her lawyer that she's been trying to take E-Corp down with. And she walks to the door. That scene reminded me a lot of when the Dark Army took out Cisco and Darlene last week. You see the camera long shot with Angela walking up. Now, it's important that you watch the news report in the background. Angela knocks on the door. She tells her lawyer that she doesn't want to see her anymore. She wants her to leave it alone. The power goes dark. When the power comes back on, the news report has gone back 20 seconds. It repeats what it said 20 seconds earlier. It's like time had gone backwards. And Angela, in that scene, she seemed programmed, if you ask me. That leads back into the AI, android, possibly. She was almost robotic. It just seemed really, really strange. I don't know if I'm onto anything here. Could be absolute bullshit. But I just love this show so much that I just wanted to get it off my chest, get it out there, and see what you guys think, basically. Mega excited for part 2 of Python next week. Can't wait. I'm going to do a review of the whole season. Hopefully it'll be a bit better quality than this. Won't be as nervous. I'll do some better notes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, really. If you have watched this, thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment, like it, subscribe. Don't. I'm doing this for fun. But basically, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Cheers. Mind awake, body asleep.